Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is where we do business with you 7 nights a week right here at 1035 on KDKA Plus and on select nights 93.7 The Fan. Bob Pompeani with you until 11 o'clock tonight, so call. It's you and me tonight at 412-575-2600. You can also hit me up on Twitter. It's at KDPomp, and I'll start you with a tweet tonight. This is from Bell and Brody, who says, Pomp, do you think the Penguins will honor Ovechkin when they meet for the last game on April the 17th? They absolutely will. I'm sure they're going to make it spectacular. That's how they normally do their video presentations, but they'll give him something on the ice as well. I'm sure it's going to be Crosby, Letang, and Malkin skating over to him and presenting him with some sort of thing that he may like. So we'll see how that goes. But what an amazing day it was for him. In fact, last 2 days, he got 3 goals in the last 2 games, 2 of them the other night to tie Gretzky, and tonight, with Gretzky in attendance in Long Island, he beat that record of .895. The ironic thing about the whole thing, or the amazing thing, I should say, is they played the same amount of games, these two, to this point of their careers. And Ovechkin has 1 more goal than Gretzky, the same amount of games. That's hard to fathom, but he has been as consistent as can be. And this year, despite missing 25 games, I think you have to consider that when you talk about what he did this year. Alex Ovechkin still has 42 goals to lead Washington to what might be the President's Trophy team. That's how this is going right now. They're a good team. He's leading the way with 42 goals despite missing 25 games. So we'll have more on that coming up tonight at 11 o'clock. And in case you missed it, Sidney Crosby offered a congratulatory message to Ovechkin. Meanwhile, the Penguins were eliminated officially tonight. They were in Chicago after a really good game yesterday against Dallas, a team that I think could win the Stanley Cup. The Stars are loaded with talent. Yet the Penguins came away with a win, largely because of Sidney Crosby's hat trick, first he's had since 2023. But, you know, Crosby is just playing at such an elite level, even at his age. 30 goals this season, and yet the Penguins have now missed the playoffs 3 dates in a row. And that's hard money to make up if you're the Fenway Sports Group. They budget for these playoff games. That's 3 years in a row with no playoffs. And quite frankly, I miss playoff hockey. I want to see it around here. Sure, you could watch other games, other teams, but it's something else when your team is involved. And we're not going to have that opportunity again. Hopefully in this offseason they'll fix some things. Solve their goaltending issues and come out next year and get another opportunity before it's too late. Although Crosby appears as if he can play for the next 5 years at this same level. He's been terrific. All right, we're also talking about, this is the week that Pat McAfee comes to town, and he's going to have his big event at PPG Paints Arena. And a lot of people have speculated that it's going to be Aaron Rodgers showing up and announcing his intentions to sign with the Steelers. I'm not so sure about that. I don't think the Steelers would prefer this kind of doing it. I don't know if it's part of this plan. Mark Cabali joins us tonight on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. He works for Pat McAfee. So we'll hear what he has to say. Tune in tonight at 11:35 after the late news. That's your little tease for you. We'll also have Andrew Filipponi and Will Graves on. We'll talk a lot about what happened with the Pirates this weekend. And, you know, not a very good weekend at all. They got all 3 games in. A lot of people thought that might not be possible given the rain predicament that was coming in, but they tap danced around that, got all 3 games in. Maybe they shouldn't have, because the Yankees were the better team. 2 of the 3. Today, the Pirates won in 11 on a Tommy Pham walk-off. So the Pirates are 3-7 to start this season. Not exactly the way they wanted to start this season. The St. Louis Cardinals come to town tomorrow, and the natives are a little bit restless with the Pirates after all these years of losing and not doing much this offseason. I think it's the biggest complaint I have. They had Paul Skeens, they had Jared Jones. They didn't know Jones was going to be injured. They had a formidable young pitching staff, and yet they did nothing to go out to help it with some hitters. They need hitters badly. They haven't developed any. They needed to sign some more than what they did, and they didn't, and so here they are stuck at 3-7. 412-575-2600. So I'll stop. I need you to call. 412-575-2600. Air your opinions. We do it every single night of the week right here on KDKA+. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We will be back right after this. All right, welcome back. This is our Xfinity Mobile tweet of the night from Mike Kelly of the NHL. This is interesting because this date in history has some meaning for Alexander Ovechkin. In 2004, the Capitals won the draft lottery and the right to draft Ovechkin, which they did. Now in 2025, same date, April the 6th, Ovechkin scores his 895th goal to break Wayne Gretzky's all-time record. And when you look at this comparison, this is what I was mentioning. Ovechkin and Gretzky both with 1,487 games played, and yet Ovechkin has just one more goal. But if you look at the assists, that's where Gretzky has everyone beaten. He has almost 1,900 assists in his career. So that's together something that won't be beaten, I'm sure. That'll take a Herculean effort by anyone and a long tenure for anyone to do that. 412-575-2600 is the number to call. I also want to get your Augusta National picks. This is Masters Week after all. I've gone on record and say I like Ludwig Aubert. That's going to be my pick. Who do you like when you call? Let me know at 412-575-2600. Let's get to the lines. We got Jerry and Franklin, who's up first tonight. Hi, Jerry.
Hey, Bob. Hey, I got a couple of points I'd like to make.
Okay.
The first one is the only thing more embarrassing than the Clemente fiasco that the Pirates have done this weekend is the product that they've put on the field. And I think that Bob Nutting is probably the worst baseball owner since clear back in the 1919 White Sox scandal. I'd take Charlie Finley or Marge Schott any day of the week. And I think I saw his nose growing when he was doing the interview about how much he cares about the team.
Well, Jerry, you kind of sum up what a lot of people feel about the Pirates right now, and they made it very vociferous on opening day when Nutting was walking up the rotunda. He got a lot of backlash and a lot of people chirping off. Listen, the numbers are the numbers. He says they are laser focused on winning. Okay, I think you need some proof of that before you can say it, and so far we haven't seen that. They have not developed bats in their system. They need to develop more bats, and if you don't develop, then you got to go out and get some. More so than 1 year, $3 million journeyman player. And that seems to be the kind they're coming up with, like Tommy Pham. All due respect, he got the game-winning hit today. But honestly, they can do better than that. And it's a matter of choosing to do better than that. If they're not going to spend the money over a certain point, then what is the point if you don't draft and develop? Now, this is also year 6 for both Ben Cherington and Derek Shelton. And year 6, by now, you would expect results. One of the things he said in that interview was that he has given all the resources and tools necessary to his management staff. Well, if that's the case, which I don't think it is, but if that's the case, then he's directly pointing the finger at both of those guys. So at this point, it's 10 games in. Let's see how it plays out, but they've got to do much better than what they've done. And they've not hit well with runners in scoring position. Today, their bullpen bailed them out after their bullpen collapsed, specifically Barecki in the 9th inning. But I thought Caleb Ferguson and then Joey Wentz after that did a good job in innings 10 and 11 to allow the Pirates to win that game. Chuck in Uniontown. Hello, Chuck. How are you?
Okay, thanks, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. Do you think Carmen Mlodzinski can develop into at least a serviceable starting pitcher, or would you rather see him in the bullpen? Is he closer material? And who do you like tomorrow, Houston or Florida? Thanks.
Thank you, Chuck. I like Florida tomorrow. I thought Houston was a very gritty group last night, but they also took advantage of some situational collapses by Duke, specifically John Shire, their head coach, who, he was 79-0 when leading by 10 at any point of a game. Last night they led by 14 in the second half with 8 minutes left, for goodness sakes, and somehow they couldn't close that deal. That's going to be painful for Cooper Flagg and company all throughout this offseason, but yeah, I do like Florida. I think the Gators have too much offense, but I thought that of Duke also. Houston has a way of keeping things down low and the way they play, which is scrappy style. With regard to Mlodzinski, I think Carmen Mlodzinski would probably be better suited in the bullpen. He could have a closer arm mentality, I think. They have enough starters potentially in their system. When Bubba Chandler comes up here, if Harrington turns out to be what he's supposed to be, Mike Burrows is coming back from surgery. He had a big upside. Brandon Ashcraft and so many others. I'd rather see them figure out a bullpen. Bednar's in the minors right now. Holderman's on the injured list, and they were going at it by committee, and so far it really hasn't worked that way. So I think I would try to develop him into a late inning guy, high leverage guy. All right, 412-575-2600. We got Rhino in Turtle Creek. Hello, Rhino. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you, Bob?
All right. What's up?
All these comparisons with Ovechkin and Gretzky, you have to keep in mind that Ovechkin had almost 1,000 more shots on goal.
Yeah, he did, but that's his game. shooting as much as he can. He's one of the best in the game at developing shots. And I also, a lot of people, you go to games and you hear people say, shoot the puck, shoot the puck. He is not hesitant about doing it. And I'm not going to penalize him for that. His shooting percentage is not going to be anywhere near what Wayne Gretzky's was. But the number of shots, the volume of shots leads to opportunities. And when you put that much velocity behind all those volume of shots, you're going to score a lot of goals. So I'm not going to try to diminish that in any way. I think that's a tremendous record. I applaud him for playing the way he has played consistently over his entire career. He's had, I don't know how many, 15, I think, 30-goal seasons, or maybe more than that. Already this year, at age 40, or 39 to 40, he's 42 goals despite missing 25 games. So that dude is, and he's not your typical workout freak, maniacal guy like that. He doesn't. He just loves hockey, and he gets out there and plays. So kudos to him. I think he and Crosby came in same time, and man, they've been unbelievable together. And it's been, to me, honestly, a treat to watch both of them play, especially when they go head-to-head. And that's what I miss. I wish this year a Capitals-Penguins series would have been nice to see with all of this stuff going on around them. All right, let's go out to Dave in South Park. Hello, Dave. How are you?
Hey, Bob. You said it earlier about Tommy Pham. I know he hit the game-winning hit today, but he's batting .069. Is there not somebody better that could be in the lineup, or is that how bad the Pirates are?
Well, I mean, first of all, he signed for $4.7 million, I think. Because of that, he's going to play a lot. But he's a platoon guy, just as Suwinski is, just as first base, whoever they throw out there day to day to day. Catching can be that way at times, even though Bart's getting the lion's share of it all. Bart's numbers are not very good. I think he only has one run batted in. So, they need help from a lot of different positions, specifically power help, and they haven't really gotten it. But at least he got the game-winning hit today. I mean, that could have been not good if they had stranded Suwinski at third and played on, because their bullpen was getting very much depleted at that point. Let's go to Kim in Uniontown. Joins us right now on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. What's up, Kim?
I like UConn won today.
Yeah, the UConn ladies. That's right. Paige Becker's got it done.
And yeah, I like Paige Becker's.
Well, thank you. I'm sure she appreciates that, and quite frankly, they overmatched South Carolina in that game. Ariema's team, they've won a lot, but they hadn't been most recently, but they did today, so congrats to them. Let's go to Lou in North Strabane Township. Hello, Lou.
Hey, Bob. Good evening to you, sir. It's been a pleasure. I worked with you for 10 years. I worked upstairs in Mass Control in KDKA with
Lou, what you doing, man? Good to talk to you.
Hey, all right. Hope you're doing well, sir.
You too.
Shout out to Mike Mason and Annie and Joe Belak and Denise and all those folks. Great team.
They are really good for our station here, for sure. What's up, Lou?
For sure. But yeah, good to hear from you, sir. But yeah, just I was there on opening day, and it was just so sad. It was just such a bummer there. But I hope things improve. But yeah, it was just such a bummer to be there on opening day on this year.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an opportunity to really celebrate baseball, celebrate the beginning of something new, and instead it turned out to be nasty at times in terms of the response. But again, that's self-inflicted basically by the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. They have not done enough to make themselves competitive. And that's all people want around here, just competitive, have a chance to win, get in once in a while. Do you realize they haven't won a playoff series in Pittsburgh since 1979? Think about that. Yeah, they had division championships with Jim Leland, but they never won a series. And that's a long time to have a drought like this. And you got the 3 playoff years, 2 wild card years, or 3 wild card years back in 13, 14, and 15. But aside from that, 1 wild card win, but no series wins. And it's got to change at some point. They got to make a commitment. It starts with ownership. He has to invest more. And if he doesn't think so, then fight for a salary cap. Do something that would change. And who knows, given the state of television negotiations with baseball right now, and especially some of the regional sports franchises, you may have a situation where it may lead to that, maybe some sort of lockout. And at that point, if it does happen, well, you better go for the jugular and get a salary cap. And I think the players wouldn't want one, but eventually they would crack if you stayed out long enough. Who knows if it'll ever get that far? But the bottom line is, without one, I mean, the Pirates either spend a lot and try to get out there to 130 range, and that's not overspending. That's rational spending, I think. When you spend 75 to 85 to 90 max, you're really not going to have a chance unless you hit on a lot of things. All right, we're going to take a break at 412-575-2600. That's the number to call. We'll have more calls right here. Join us tonight, #1 Cochran Sports Showdown, 11:35 on KDKA.